In previous video, we took a look at the overview of API-Viz API Design Studio for REST APIs. Let's create a new API and dive deeper into it. If you click on this plus icon, you get 6 options to get started. You can get started from scratch with a blank API. Next, if you have an open API specification file in JSON or YAML, you can upload it here. If you click on it, first you have to upload it. Select an environment file for it. If you don't have an API and you want to just take a look at the functionalities, you can even have the basic templates uploaded here. It will give you a ready-made API to look at the functionalities of the Design Studio, and then simply click on import to go inside. Next, if you have any of the API designs stored in your source control, you can import it from here. You can connect your source control by filling this form. Select your source control first, and then based on the source control, you can put all the details and import the API. Next, we have a Postman collection. If you have a Postman collection file, you can upload it simply here, and based on that collection, we can create an API which will be detailed with the help of API-Viz Design Studio. A lot of time the API is already online. You can click on this one and you get a REST client where you can put the URL and other parameters and click on send once you have added all the details. Based on the response, you can click on this generate button and then it will start generating the design from that live tryout. Next, you can select the live traffic. If you click on it, you just simply have to give the transaction ID, name, and a description of the newly created design from the transaction ID and an environment. You can get the transaction ID from API compliance. If you go here for each transaction in the traffic tab, you will get a transaction ID and you can copy it and put it in the Design Studio, or you can even click create from here as well. A detailed drive on how you can create an API design from the traffic itself is given in the separate playlist on API compliance on this channel. For now, let's copy this and we can go to API Design Studio and paste it by clicking on plus, and on this live traffic I can paste it here. For demo purpose, we'll start with a blank API design. If I click on this, these are the first data fields for any API design based on the Open API specification structure, which is a name, version. Terms of service is an optional one, but it is always helpful if you have a page ready, you have to provide a URL. It makes your API more rich in terms of metadata, and a basic description which is mandatory. All the APIs in API-Viz Design Studio are associated with an environment by default. You have to select those environment from here. License name, URL, contact name, contact URL, email, and external documentation. These are also the fields for information about your Open API specification from the OS schema. Although these are optional, it's always a best practice to add all these links and names for a rich experience. I've imported a sample API. So let's dive into different aspects of this API. Here, if I click on this edit, I can see that the name, sample, and basic terms of service are given here. Next, whatever terms of service is there, if I have added all the details, I can click here and open it. I can see that this API is in the environment of prod, but it is in draft. If I click here, I can change the status of this API from draft to something else like review or approved. This approved or deprecate will be accessible to you based on your role in the API-Viz workspace. For now, I can put it in review and put some comment and click on change status. Now this is in the review status. You also have an option to delete any revision or delete the entire API as well. Now below that, you get all your API resources grouped by the path. So if I open any of this API, I can see that there are multiple resources in this. For example, for this specific path, there's a get method and a post method. Like this, I can go into any of this path. Now, since this is in review, I will not be able to edit this. So let's change for demo purpose the status of this one from review to draft so that I can make the changes. Now, since again this API is in draft, I can make some changes in this. Now that I have changed the status of this revision, I can edit this API and update it. Let's create a new path. You can just create a new path by clicking on plus and put your path and click on the save button. As soon as you save, it is appearing in the list. Now you can add a resource or an operation within this path by simply clicking on this operation button. You can select the method it can be from either of these. So let's put get operation ID goes here and click on save. So this is for the demo purpose. I have added few operation. Like this, you can just go ahead and quickly add multiple operations within a path. So as soon as you add it, you can see that my path and it has got the one operation. This is a quicker way to add. Once you add it, you can move over in this main canvas to add more details into the path and the operations. For example, if I want to edit the path, extra data I want to add, I can click on this plus edit button, add the summary, path description, different parameters that I want. If you can see here, I am able to select a parameter which is ready-made. The reason it is available here to use is because I am able to make and declare these reusable components in the component section of API Viz. So I don't have to worry about creating anything from scratch. I can prepare my parameters and servers and all the other things in as components in advance, and I simply have to assemble it here. So let's select that format. Like this, I can put multiple parameters. If I go to server, I can add the server details. If there are any variables in this server, I can add that. And for that also, if there are any specific enums, I can add those as well. All of these details are available and part of the OpenAPI specification schema. So to dive deeper, you can visit the official OpenAPI specification schema. So you'll get how we can configure. API Viz gives you a structure that would help you create a high quality API that follows the official OpenAPI specification schema, and that results in a high quality API. Once you fill all the things in this form, the Design Studio itself takes care of outputting a high quality API. Like this, I can move around, so I can see that my path is now configured. I can move on to the operations. I can see that there can be multiple operations appearing in this list. So for now, I want to configure the operation ID. The next video will dive deeper into the operation ID and how we can configure it, add various parameters and details. Apart from that, an overview of the editing side of this OpenAPI Design Studio.